welcome to Mickey Art. Today I finally got round to having time to play with this UV resin. The sun is out, the sky is blue, and I'm going to play with UV resin with you. How does it get any better than this? I purchased this stuff. This is the first time I've ever played with UV resin. So this is me playing, this is me exploring. If you have a brand of resin that you love to use for this sort of thing, please let me know. I'm after something that dries pretty quickly though. I would use art resin, but it takes like 48 hours to go off, and it's not going to work for this. Because what we're doing is I've got my glass cabochons that I dipped in paint, and they have paint just painted on the back. Basically you dip them in paint and let them dry, face that way, paint up. And then when they dry, whatever you dipped them in still shows through the glass. So these are a couple that I picked out of my stash to play with. I'm hoping they come out good. If they don't, I'm not going to be absolutely gutted. So I have no idea how to use this stuff, so I'm just going to cut the tip off. See, brand new. I've never used it. I ordered it from Amazon, and I'll put a link in the description for you so that if it works you can get some too if you choose. It'll be an affiliate link, so just if you don't wish to contribute to my channel with without having to pay anything, because it doesn't cost you any more to use my link, it's just they pay me their advertising revenue. And for this first one, I'm just gonna, I've got a tiny little hole in the end there, cover that up so it doesn't go hard, and just gonna use a, what are these things called, toothpick, just to take it so that it runs over, well, hopefully not runs, just goes over the edge of the paint and sticks itself to the glass. God grief, words are failing me today. Well, I am failing words, whichever way around you want to put it. Why I'm making sure that it goes over onto the glass is the target of this is to seal the paint. The paint itself is not glass paint, it's just standard acrylic paint that ran off my acrylic pouring paintings. So it's Reeves acrylic paint mixed with Floetrol and water, and then dipped onto the glass. And so if it sits in moisture for any period of time, and this is why I need a quick dry option, if it sits in moisture for very long, it actually peels the glass and the paint apart, and you end up with this beautiful round paint circle and a clean bit of glass, which is fine if you've decided you don't like the cabochon or the painting on the cabochon, but not so cool if it's hung around your neck as a necklace and you go on the pool by accident. So my target is to create something that wraps around the paint, seals the paint onto the glass, and if for any reason it gets wet, it stays protected. I have no idea whether that's actually stayed down on the glass or whether it's peeled its way back up, because resin tends to have a habit of doing that. So I don't have a UV lamp, and I've just realized I should really have put this onto something that I could move easily. So I'm going to take this outside and stick it in the sun. So bear with me. Oops. When I got outside, the sunlight showed me the air bubble, so I ran back inside and got my butane torch, ran back outside, and I think I got a little bit close with it. Anyway, so for this next one, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put a layer of nail polish on first, with the hopes of, oops, not pouring the nail polish all over the place, with the hopes of sealing those edges up. Now I have done a nail polish one and it came out fine, but just don't know how longevity-ish that's going to be, although one of my long-time watchers commented on that video that she had painted, I think it was some rubber ducks which had very cheap painted faces. She'd covered their faces with varnish, and something like 6 years later her next child was now using them in the bath and surviving nicely. So if I've remembered those dates wrong, I apologize, but my recall of things is not always the most accurate. So I'm going to leave that to dry. Then I'm going to put a layer of the resin on top, and then I will come back and show you the results of both of them. So I'll be back. Okay, so the nail varnish is dry. Didn't take long at all. So let's, I've gone and taken my gloves off now. Oh, here we go. I'm just going to try dribbling this around the edge to start with, rather than having to push it over later. Now I'll get to the point where I need to put it down. Put resin all over myself. And this time I'm going to remember to air bubble it before I take it outside, and hopefully, I have a drip. I have many drips. I'm a big drip. I'm a big drip girl. Okay. This is not going to be the pretty one. I can tell you that much now. I have big puddles. This is the sort of thing that I have happen with my art resin. Okay, taking it outside, back soon. Okay, I'm going to give it another go. Oops, if my camera will. I'm going to give this one a go, because although it's okay on this side, I really actually want it to stay see-through, because that blue, when it's got a backing on it, it disappears, but there's this blue line that shows up, and it's actually really pretty on the back. To me it looks like a swan or something, although it's missing a corner, which is a bit sad, but it makes it perfect for a test piece, don't you think? So this bottle's 100 mils and I have absolutely no idea how much I'm using per cabochon. I must say it does stink a little, so you'd want to have an extractor fan going or a face mask on if you are sensitive to smells. I highly recommend you put the lid back on as soon as you've finished. And this time I'm not going to use the torch. I've got the paint only on the flat side, absolutely none of it wrapping around, so that I have more chance of being able to cover the edge without creating a run. And also on this one I'm going to kind of get some sort of indication of how long it takes to dry, because if you were doing something other than just a small cabochon, you might want that information. Or maybe I'll Google that. Okay, so you do need to have it on a flat surface. For some unknown reason it's runny. And my table's not being particularly flat, and I had a run off. See, look. So I'll turn my stick round and try and tidy that run up. Okay, it's so pretty. I like that one. Right, out to the sunshine we go. Come on, little cabochon. Okay, so here they all are. This is the first piece that I attacked with the blowtorch, and you can see there it had already set and it just scorched it. So probably if I was worried about it, I would be able just to sand that back with a very fine wet and dry sandpaper and polish it up, but it's a test. I'm not too worried. But what I am going to do, have a little pot of water and I'm going to pop it in. Yay! Let's see how it survives. Now, this one is the second one that I did the nail polish and the edges, if you remember. And look, it all ran off. And this is the problem I get when I use normal resin, is I get these, which tend to be removable with a sharp knife if you're being careful, obviously, but it's not the ideal. So that's what I'm trying to avoid with the UV resin. Here's my sharp knife, and see, I've actually got a layer of resin on the glass at that point. where it's run off. Sorry, stay in the camera, Michelle. And again, actually I'm not sure whether this is nail polish or resin at this point, so alright, so I've been able to get under the resin by doing that, and just pull that off and clean it up with the knife. It's a bit more tattooing than I'd wanted to do. It's a bit of a fiddly job. Not my ideal. But what my target is to try and find a way that's not too fiddly, but gives me a nicer result than some of the dodgy looking cabochon trays. Some of the trays that have just come straight out of the mold, no tidying, just press and run. So I'm going to pop that one now that I've cleaned it up, which has actually broken the resin, and I'm just wondering whether that's going to cause any problems with the sealing of the paint. So pop that in the water as well. And again, we had a little bit of runoff onto this one. And please, 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 if you are not confident and competent with a knife, I've had many, many years of using a knife. So if you're at all concerned about that, please wear some sort of safety equipment. But look at that shine on there. It almost looks as good as the other side. That's very cool. So I'm going to pop that one into the water as well, and while those are soaking, I just wanted to show you a little trick that you can do with the UV resin. You can buy resin, where am I? There. You can buy resin or UV lights designed for UV hardening nails. Now this has been sitting here for quite a while, and it's still starting to congeal on top, but if you're wanting to be able to do this inside and not only when it's a bright sunshiny day, let's pop over here and put a couple of drops out onto my paper. This is freezer paper. We can't actually get freezer paper in New Zealand. Like, you can't buy it by the roll like you can in America. So this freezer paper was actually gifted to me by a beautiful friend whose daughter bought it over for her from America. Oh, you can't actually see that puddle I just made. Yes. So there it is. As you can see, it's really runny, just like when I was doing the backs there. And this here, let me zoom out. This here is a UV torch, and I bought this for that UV glow paint that I bought. So it's just show you how we can use that on the resin and see how long it takes. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Alright, so that was 30 seconds with the little torch. And look at this, it's already firm enough to peel off. Look at that. It's not quite 100% set. It's still bendable. But that was, wow, it's warm. The torch itself doesn't get warm, but the chemical reaction within the resin. Oh, and now it's completely set. Look at that. Wow. I can bend it. Oh, and I can flick it as well. I don't know where that went. But, so that's a much quicker way, and also if you don't have any sunlight, winter, rainy days, all those sorts of things, it's still possible. 30 seconds under the UV light and it was done. So let's pull these out and have a look. And I am seeing absolutely no problems at all. Oh, maybe there. But that would probably be where I just did not cover the paint. So there we go. These are looking good. How exciting. Yeah. So you can scrape the runoff over, off. Oh, look at this. And I can get underneath the paint there. So we have a failure. Well, at least I can reuse the cabochon because that's perfectly clean. Right, so it definitely still needs to finish on the edge and not be damaged. That's a pain. I hope that isn't going to be the case with this one as well. Where was it that I had to trim? It was one of the corners, wasn't it? I'm not seeing any damage. So I think this is probably one of the most likely to be a permanent-ish solution. Definitely suitable for if you're making magnets and you want a nice solid substrate to attach to. Not so sure about double-sided pendants, but hey, you know what? It was fun. So if you have any hints and tips that I didn't mention or didn't know about, please leave them in the comments. I've had fun exploring this with you, and unfortunately we had a failure, but how does it get any better than that? What else is possible? So I'm gonna give a few more a go, but that's my video for today, guys. I adore you. I've had fun. I'll pop a link in the description below to this particular one, but there are plenty of other resins, and as I said, if you've used one that you really like, please let me know. Pop a non-affiliate link in the comments below, and that would be cool. Awesome, guys. I adore you. I had fun. How much fun can you have? And I'll see you soon. Bye bye.